A purslane, like I was talking about yesterday. But before we take a peek at one of those, I want to show you something. But if you don't like spiders, give it about 20 seconds. Skip forward. Look at this guy. He looks like a stink bug. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. He looks like a stink bug. Look at him. Isn't he cool? So the native plants have really been bringing in some unusuals. All right, so there's your 20 seconds. I promised, so I'm turning away. The native plants have really been bringing in some new, unusual, and fauna, I guess would be the word, bugs that I have not seen before, and I find it fascinating. It's the coolest thing. This little friend, really need to plant this. So the idea was to plant this on behind the shed. Part of me is wondering if I can get rid of the couple of trees that are growing in the elderberry. It's pretty clear the elderberry wants a tree. So I wonder if I could plant this under the elderberry. Because I have an American elderberry, and how cool would it be to have a pawpaw coming up out of it? I don't know. So that's a pawpaw. And then let's see. I think the trouble was that they're just harder to tell the difference when it's getting dark. This right here. There's a bug on my arm. Sorry. This is purslane. And you can see how it's different, but how it's similar enough that it is a little bit hard to tell. And I have been weeding this sucker out of things forever. But what my friend told me is true. It's very tasty. It's very, very tasty. So it's kind of all over the place in here. Here's one. There's one inside a pot. Here's one. Oh, come on, little friend. You need to be around the pole, not grabbing me. There we go. I thought there was one in the bottom of here. But yeah, they're kind of everywhere. If it's not dark, it's easy to find. Look, what's different? My compost tumbler that has never had a lid, and that I barely have used, is gone. I rehomed it to a friend. It's going to be so much easier to get my bike in and out of here. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so much easier. So I reset the lights. I actually am realizing I left them on. That there's also quite a bit of scruff from clearing out the brush, and I want to figure out what to do with this rock. But I was able to get a few more feet of light, and so it's going to be brighter at the curbside now, because that was only one around before. The hops are... some of them are getting real close to the point where they're going to start to dry. And that's what you want, is when they just start to dry, they're ready to go. A friend of mine pointed out that I probably, considering the volume, can you see them? So let's take a look at the density of the hops, and then just kind of back up and see how many hops there are there. I probably should get a hold of a local brewery and see if they want and or are allowed to take locally grown hops from someone that's not like a certified grower. I don't know. Be worth finding out. Because I've only got so many brewer friends, and the quantity of these gets more every year, so it's something. It's definitely something. Just heard something go running off. I think it was a critter. It really does feel like there's things biting me. It's very annoying. Ended up picking one of the, what is this called again? Parsley. It's like a taproot. I ended up picking it out when I covered this over. I moved this back to help get the things out, and some of it looks like it's ready, so I'm kind of thinking I might dig some pots in soon. Maybe today, because I also pulled up a whole bunch of more violets that I want to use on the slope around here, but that means I need to put more dirt around my fire pit, which means I need to dig some spaces for pots to do that with. I mean, everything's multifaceted. You can't just do it, right? So, yeah, back here I did not get around to thinning that back. Still want to, and considering how hot it is, it's a really good day for considering to do that, because there's actually shade back here, and I don't want to get too much sun, so it's a consideration. Tomatoes, wee little bitty tomatoes. These are so sweet. They really are like candy. And then, yeah, we saw yesterday that the plum tree is starting to get a couple leaves, or sweet cherry tree, what am I thinking? Starting to get a couple new leaves back on after dropping them all. So I guess I just have to heavily mulch that with ash every year. What else? Interestingly, there was a whole new branch. Oh, look at this bug. Can you see it? Probably not. Another one I've never seen before. It's like a stripy waspy thing, but with like no stripes on its body, just on its legs. And the legs are golden black, and the whole body's just black. Many wasps are very good things. Many of them are not. But, yeah, maybe you can see that. This is not the right video if you don't like bugs. Quite a few flowers. The red clover right there is doing really well. I like to let the red clover grow because of, oh, some of the peas are finally coming up. I'm gonna have fall peas after all, because it's really good for nitrogen fixing. I did think that planting peas in here would be a good idea, A, because they have something to grow on, but also because the asparagus should probably need a bit more nitrogen by now, so it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to do that. It's so weird looking, with 3 little tufts of leaves coming off, but the tree doesn't look completely dead anymore, so that's good. That tree's weird. I don't know what to tell you. All of these little branchy bits are crabgrass, and I'm going to have to get up in there, see if I can reach it, to pull that out before it finishes going to seed, because that's the beginning of it going to seed there. The trick is there's always like a central point where most of the plant is coming from. And that's where the roots are. It's right there, right next to the onions, of course. And then the other trick is, you see I broke some of this. The other trick is making sure you get the full length, because a lot of times if it's not tall like this, ooh, this needs to come out. I think that might be native lettuce. I'm gonna look that up, but I think it needs to come out. The trick is also to make sure that, because each time one of these touch the ground, you can see there's a little root there. Yeah. And now this one was held up by the plants around it, so it didn't work that way, but it's very common for it to go ahead and set down. And then you have to make sure you get the whole plant. It's tricksy. See, here's another one. They're bad. And it's so hard to find them until they start to go to seeds, so it's a good time of year right now to just go around and start ripping them out. Because you can actually find them. Yep, see? Big branching plant. There's the seeds. Follow it down to the base. Get my hand around the entire root. And then carefully fish it out. Do it again. Here's the seeds. Following it down to the base. There's a couple of bases here. You gotta get underneath the darn thing. There's a lot of this back here. Goodness, that's hard. Can't reach it all. Got some extra. Here's a little bit more. Gosh darn crabgrass. If you're not in an area that grows this stuff, you are a lucky duck. Because it's pretty bad. And it's so easy for it to seed, too. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of this and throw it down over the space the neighborhood uses to throw their grass clippings. Because that way, at least all those seeds won't be going to seed near my yard. Near my garden, rather. Just, it's a big ball of plant there. See? Big ball of plant. More hops here. Okay, over it goes. I don't know what I'm going to do about all of these trees coming up down here because they're fixing to block my view. And they're all sumacs. Luckily, I'm not allergic. So, that's what's going on here. A lot of sunshine, a lot of dryness, a lot of heat. Big old rock. Bunch of raspberries. Look at that. Yeah, so it's a good day. Beautiful. All right, bye.